Can you please make red beans and rice? Sure. How about some meatloaf to go along with it? I take a pound of red kidney beans. I sort them. I put them in a bowl. I fill it with cold water and I let them soak overnight. I dice 2 celery stalks, an onion, and a green pepper. Heat a 1/4 cup of olive oil in a pot. I add the diced vegetables and 2 tablespoons of minced garlic. I let them cook on low for about 5 minutes. Pull the rest of the ham bone and ham fat out of the freezer and I place it in the pot. I add 6 cups of chicken broth. After soaking the beans overnight, I rinse them off and I pour them into the pot. 2 bay leaves, 1/4 teaspoon of sage, 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, and 1 teaspoon of thyme. I add 1/4 teaspoon of Cajun seasoning. I stir and mix and I bring it to a low boil. Once it comes to a boil, I turn it down to medium low. I cover it and I set the timer for 1 hour. Preheat the oven to 350. In a bowl, I put 2 1/4 pounds of ground beef, 1/2 cup of diced onions, and 1/2 cup of diced green peppers. I add 1/2 teaspoon of thyme, 2 tablespoons of minced garlic, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce, 1 tablespoon of brown sugar. I add 16 crumbled crackers and 2/3 cup of milk. I add 1/4 cup of ketchup. Mix in a tablespoon of Italian seasoning and form it into a loaf and I cover with aluminum foil. Place it on the bottom shelf of the preheated oven and I set the timer to 45 minutes. Take a pound of Conecuh sausage and I cut it into bite-sized pieces. Once the timer goes off, after an hour, I add the Conecuh sausage. Add a tablespoon of sugar and a teaspoon of salt. The sugar is for the gas. I stir and mix it and set the timer for 30 minutes. Put 3 cups of water, 1 1/2 cups of washed rice, 3 tablespoons of butter, and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt in a pot. I bring it to a boil. I cover, turn it down, and let it simmer for 20 to 25 minutes. Put 1 cup of ketchup in a bowl. I add 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. I mix it together. The timer goes off. I remove the meatloaf from the oven and I remove the foil. Spread the ketchup and brown sugar over the meatloaf, the glaze, and I place it back in the oven uncovered for 15 minutes.
The red beans right there, good.
Thank you, Elsie.
Wow. The meatloaf taste good.
Thank you, Elsie.
Wow.